Good evening, everybody, and welcome here to the Sports Talk Network, specifically to Steve's Wrestling Ramble. Sorry, just checking my camera. Just cleaning, trying to have at least the best quality of video per time. But anyways, let's talk about WWE. Welcome to Steve's Wrestling Ramble for tonight. Let's do this episode here because might as well, right? No lines elsewhere. I don't have anything going on. But we'll wait here for a little bit for team members to join in. Let's starting the show here. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait a couple of minutes, wait until the rest of the team's able to jump on. Then we'll start with Raw from there. Give it a couple of minutes. It's certainly been a long day. I just also was a little bit late with starting the show as well. I just check here. Hold on. Sorry about that. Just want to check and wait to see if any of my team members will be able to join. If not, that's fine. But I pretty much talked about already what I talked about in the Raw and SmackDown review. Everything that happened there. Pretty good shows, though, I would say, this week for WWE, and especially SmackDown Live. Been hearing that viewership's been going up for the show each and every week continuously, so that's good. Also, you can tell I got a haircut. Let me shaved it off up there. Had my hair can grow like a chia pet. Wanted to get that clean shave for tomorrow for my grandfather's ceremony and everything going on there specifically. Okay, we should be here to talk about the women's only, or first ever women's only pay-per-view event. I guess we'll just wait until he's able to make it. Until then, I'll just wait here. Like I said, if you guys are watching, the gals are watching right now, I know not much is going on. Just wait until we 7 waiting there. But yeah, I'm just gonna wait here for the Cameron's gonna be here in a few minutes. So before then, we'll just relax, wait, join in. If they want to join in, cheer and talk about WWE. And I was going crazy about something outside. Yeah, we'll just. I'm just trying to get these things set here, waiting for my team members being able to join in. So, for these first few minutes, you want to skip watching right now. Bless your heart, first off. But second off, wait or fast forward if you're watching archive a couple of minutes when Kyron's able to join in and we'll talk about, keep talking about Night Raw. So, like I said, Raw overall was okay. SmackDown was pretty dang good of a show. A lot of big things happening on Night Raw, and 3 specific things going on, 3 specific storylines that's doing specific, and surrounding Raw being the biggest ones. Sasha Banks and Bayley and that love story, or whatever kind of story that's going to be, storyline, at least for now, until one of them inevitably turns on the other and they have a match at a pay-per-view event. Whether that's going to be at Evolution or otherwise, who knows? Then you have Brock Lesnar, the title picture. And now it's going to be Roman Reigns to face him. I'm waiting on team members. But yeah, Raw, 3 things. Brock Lesnar, the top picture. Sasha Banks and Bayley storyline. And then the big news, the women's Evolution having its own pay-per-view called Evolution. Evolution. Pay-per-view with that name title. I think Revolution actually used to be a pay-per-view event. Or is it something else? There was a WWE Revolution or pay-per-view once. I can remember the Titantron look of it. The stage, I mean. But I think it was Revolution or Resolution or something like that. One of those. But it had like almost the look of like Armageddon's stage was. I think that's where Edge even cashed in once. Oh no, that was New Year's Eve. Yeah, New Year's Eve resolution, right? Like a New Year's resolution? WWE New Year's resolution? I could look that up. I'm trying to think if I actually know that to be true or not. I think so. I don't know for sure. But I think, if I know correctly, that Evolution was its own pay-per-view event, then Evolution now being for a women's show, the first ever, like I said, the women's pay-per-view event that will be on October 28th, 2018. So I'm certainly looking forward to that. And I think or I'm pretty sure it's going to deliver. It's going to be pretty dang good. And I know that's one of the first things I want to talk about with my team when they're able to join in, all of them. And we'll go from there. But for right now, I guess other things to discuss just a little bit. Again, a little bit more information coming up about Hulk Hogan and his return to WWE. First being reinstated into the WWE Hall of Fame. Now hearing that he has signed a Legends deal. I'm going to be going back to what he was doing before, being an ambassador for WWE and everything in between what that entails, I guess, so to speak. Ellsworth, I saw people on Twitter thinking that he was actually fired in the company. But in the end, he's just storyline fired from SmackDown Live. So he is still employing the company, just in the storyline that's for Carmella and for James Elder specifically. That Page fired him from the show this past Tuesday. Whether he shows up or not at SummerSlam during Carmella's women's title match against Becky Lynch this time, that remains to be seen. But I do see Carmella successfully retaining, seeing as Alexa Bliss. I think they're both going to have a nice reign. Like Alexa Bliss might not be as long as Carmella started sooner, of course, when she cashed in compared to when Alexa won it from Nia Jax. But I think they're both still going to have a good, solid, long, lengthy one for each individual. But Carmella is certainly going to have this be her, since it is her first women's title reign. WWE certainly wants to make it impactful because they want to push her. So whenever they finally do take the title off of her, still being main event status in the women's division. Will she still be the women's champion when we get to Evolution? Maybe. But we'll certainly see if Alexa Bliss is the Raw Women's Champion when we get to the same pay-per-view. Who knows? I would hope so, and I would think so. Especially for more for Carmella than Alexa Bliss. Like Alexa Bliss is facing Ronda Rousey at SummerSlam. I think there's a high percentage of chance of Bliss losing her championship than Carmella here anytime soon. But anyways, I see Mark Ramble is here. Mark is here, so that's great. Hopefully Kyron and others are able to join in. But as we wait for them to appear, Mark, how are you doing this evening? And what are your thoughts on the biggest news coming out of Monday Night Raw, which started off the show with Vince McMahon himself being there, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, the one delivering the news, of course. Anything women have to be, women's wrestling news have to be delivered by a woman, and the number one woman in WWE being Stephanie McMahon herself. So what are your thoughts on the news and Evolution itself?
Well, first of all, can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I can hear you, bro. In regards to Raw was actually fairly good. I really enjoyed the beginning segment, though. Evolution. I actually thought they were gonna have tag team titles. I'm happy they didn't, because to me their roster is not that deep enough to have tag team titles. But it was really, I enjoyed it. I felt like it's something that it was well deserved, especially considering where we're at now, the women's revolution and all this other stuff. And I'm all for it. Like, I really do not mind having the Evolution pay-per-view. But the thing is, though, I don't want them, which they probably will, to rely on Hall of Famers necessarily, because I feel like they're Hall of Famers. They're retired. They're there. They could play a role, but I don't want it to primarily be like a one-on-one, like a current women's wrestler going against, like, I don't know, Alundra Blaze or something. Like, I don't want that. I kind of want to see different people going against each other in matches that, showcase their talent. Like, I want to see a Brooklyn match, like Bayley and Banks. I want to see them, not those two particularly go at it, but like something of that caliber. Like, everybody was really engrossed and in tune to that match. I want to see something like that. I don't want it to be like them, like, okay, Trish, could you come back for one match and go against like Sasha Banks or something, put her over? Obviously, she's gonna lose, Obviously, Trish is going to lose because it'd be crazy for her to win going against somebody who's currently on the roster. So that's the only thing I got a feeling they're going to do. But other than that, I don't mind it. I really enjoyed it. I really, really, really like the fact that they're going to have an all women's pay per view.
All right, Kyron, what are your thoughts on everything?
On Raw as a whole or just Evolution?
No, we'll talk about Evolution first.
Listen, you guys know I'm a big stickler for the women. You know, I've been preaching for the women to get the respect they deserve. But what's there to be excited about? What from the, has WWE main roster proven to you from their booking of the women, other than Ronda Rousey this year, that makes you should be excited for all women pay per view? They've unless Triple H is booking it, which I'm not sure about. What's there to be excited about? And then another thing, that's one problem I have. Two, the way they announced it. Triple H's speech was good. It came from the heart. He got choked up. Stephanie's just sounded way too political. Oh, we went from 30-second matches to main events and things like that. And then you got all the women hugging each other. And like, why are you doing that way? Like, wouldn't have been another better way to do it than just having Stephanie come out and say that? And it feels like they're just doing this for political purposes and not because they really care. I mean, I'm gonna watch it, and I do want to see what they're gonna do, but at the same time, they've given me almost no reason to care about it. And then constantly hammering it home on Raw. Almost every segment they brought it up. It's getting to the point where if they keep doing this, then come 9/28, when this no, sorry, October 28th, my fault. When I'm just gonna be wanting the show to get over it because they keep hammering over my head and shoving it down my throat. I'm not gonna care anymore. I barely care as it is because there's no reason to. They give me nothing good for them, almost no good booking storylines for the women on the main roster this year other than Ronda Rousey. So there's nothing to be excited about.
I think for most people, that their excitement level for this pay per view is maybe some nostalgia for superstars of the past, just to lead others that may be coming back, whether they're always having whether one of my matches or whatever type of matches they're going to be part of, or just part of the show. You know, just seeing them. So nostalgia part of it, I think, as well for the past women of the then, now, and forever. And then dream matches. I think on the other side is some of the fans that ones that they haven't seen and want to see, especially some interactions that you got to see at the Royal Rumble, to include Trish Stratus and Sasha Banks that moment during first ever Women's Royal Rumble. But for me, what I'm looking forward to is actually that is of the past and the present colliding and having those matches, along with also the title matches themselves, particularly the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships. And you're also going to have the finals of the second inaugural Mae Young Classic tournament. So I'm looking forward to all that. I think it's going to be a great show, whether Vince is booking it, Triple H is booking it, or Stephanie herself booking it. I don't really care. Whoever it's going to be booking, I think, at least to me, this show, especially being its inaugural, it's going to be pretty tough for WWE to screw up. Just put it that way, at least to me, in that vein. Overall, Raw, I know Marcos talked about it. I think Raw was actually all right. I think though in the middle it had some things that I been okay to miss, but the beginning and ending, which with most Raws are the same, that you could start with whatever they have in the main event or the opening segment, and then match the main event or segment, whatever that is. Really, I think those two usually are the best parts of Monday Night Raw. And then in between is just almost like filler. There were some good parts during the show. I'm just saying, usually for Raw shows, especially being 3 hours, that's why most fans are wanting it and hoping for Raw to move back to 2 hours, and maybe with this new to SmackDown Live, it'll be on Fox, and otherwise when 2019 hits in October, so that'll be actually a year after the first Women's Evolution pay per view. Then maybe things will be different for Monday Night Raw, just as much as it'll be different for SmackDown. For SmackDown Live, when Kyron gets back, we'll get his thoughts on Raw overall. But for me, Raw overall, I think was good. Though I thought SmackDown Live was better this week, as I did think last week. But Raw in itself wasn't too bad. And I like how they actually did have Ronda Rousey in the show. Like I was worried that she was going to show up, come hell or high water, and this and that, and Angle still letting her having the championship match or otherwise in that interaction. But I think It's good that they did that. What was interesting also though was Sasha Banks and Bailey's. So I'll throw it to Mark. Mark, what are your thoughts on how that progressed this past week on Raw with Banks and Bailey and whatever that they're going to do there?
I'm so confused, bro. I'm, I'm so confused. I have no idea what they're doing. I I don't know. I really thought they maybe were gonna lead us on to something, but they didn't do that. Um, which still is just confusing me, man. I really do not know what they are going to do. It's that plain and simple. I'm clueless. Like just everything about it is interesting. Let's just say that.
Oh yeah, certainly. But now, as it is stands right now, I guess. I mean, you don't know where exactly the reason to take it, but where would you take it as how everything's been booked to this moment? Like, how would you be satisfied with how
Um,
things move forward and whatever in your own booking?
I I would do a heel turn. I feel like we all know that Sasha Banks is more popularly known for her heel turns and her heel capabilities. So I mean, why not? I mean, we really have nothing to lose in this storyline. You might as well just do it. Hopefully, we can get another good match. But who knows? I would just do a heel turn, honestly. Turn the heel, see what we can do.
All right, Kyron Jays, what are your thoughts on everything having to do with Sasha Banks and Bailey currently, and how would you rectify it your way of booking it moving forward? Or how do you think
That's how I felt about it. Unless this leads to Sasha, like I said, Sasha getting back in Bailey's good grace and turning heel, I don't care. They made this. They've dragged this on too long to the point I don't care anymore. Thanks a lot for that, WWE. How do you take two women I care about so much and give them a feud that have been so easy to book? I mean, it doesn't surprise me because the main roster, but why? And you look at what they did on Monday night, it was pretty cringeworthy. I mean, I thought Raw in general was pretty bad in general, but
There's just one thing I don't like, but we'll get on that later.
oh, it's a lot of stuff. It's some stuff I didn't like. But I'll like we want to get on it later. But and I swear, if this had better, they better not try to drag this out to Evolution. No, you have got to do the match at SummerSlam. But at the same time, you already have Ronda and Alexa. You have Carmella and Becky. That's already two matches right there. So I don't even know what they're gonna do. But after what they've been giving us between a few that's been so easy to book, like I don't care anymore. And I said they screwed up. This should have been ready around Royal Rumble time. No. Then I said, okay, Elimination Chamber is when you should do it. No. Like, if WWE just don't, they should have done right. Bailey wins the title Elimination Chamber. Sasha turns heel on her. Then they had the match at WrestleMania, and then you can go on from there. But then they dragged it on, they dragged it on, and they dragged it on. Then it's like they forgot about it. Now they're trying to do it again where no one cares. And I'm just tired of it at this point. Just give me Sasha turning heel, and then give me a good feud. But right now, I really don't care. I couldn't care less.
Yeah, and I actually have a feeling they probably will drag it on to Evolution. I hope to goodness, though, they don't drag it on to WrestleMania. I think Evolution's the furthest that they should, and unless unless you have one of them go over to the SmackDown Live brand, then maybe I would be at least okay with them dragging it to WrestleMania. But if you're still going to have them both on Monday Night Raw, Evolution is the furthest I want this to be dragged out to. And if they're then they're going to have a match there at that pay per view into the house down, be the match of the night there, and being the crowning achievement above everything else and all the other matches and other stuff we already talked about. That's going to be happening at that event. Sasha Banks versus Bailey 1-on-1, no title. Um, I mean, we don't know exactly, but no title being part of it. Them just having you guys mastering in the house and that being one of the main matches and premier matches of that Evolution pay per view show. Um, with SummerSlam, I think it's, at least to me, I think it's a little bit too late even now. 3 weeks away. Yes, we still have 3 weeks, but I think it's not too late to have Sasha turn heel, or as I would say, Bailey turn heel, or one of them turn heel, and then have it built up to a match at SummerSlam, and a good or any match that we want and be satisfied with. Right? If we do have one of them turn heel this next Monday Night Raw, and they have a match at SummerSlam, and the fact that this would be rushed in a sense, then that match probably will be on the pre-show. I know how much I'd upset Kyron if that was the case. But whenever they're going to have this match, it will hopefully not be on the pre-show, be one of their close to, if not the main event. Again, Evolution. That's why I think that'd be the part, best spot for that match, 1-on-1. Then instead of having it rushed and having it here at SummerSlam because you don't want it dragged out and it being on the pre-show, I think you'd rather wait and have it at Evolution and have it actually on the main card first off and near the main event than to have Sasha or Bailey turn heel and have the match at SummerSlam at Brie on the pre-show. I think Sasha Banks fans, Bailey fans, at least in my opinion, I think those fans will be more satisfied than the latter than the former of those two ideas for their superstars, for that feud, and for that match that definitely would tear down the house. They don't want it in the pre-show, obviously, and they shouldn't. But they are, good superstars, one of the best in most eyes. Though for me, I have Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss of them both. But for most and others, Bailey and Sasha Banks being their top echelon. But for me, I think wait till Evolution, have the match there, and go on from there for those two. The other thing coming from Monday Night Raw is the big thing. Then we can talk about other little things that you may want to discuss. Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley for the number one contendership and the opportunity to face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam for the WWE Universal Championship. Of course, Roman Reigns getting the win. As of right now, it's 1-on-1. Who knows? Braun might throw his name in the hat next week since Braun and Brock will be in the same building next week on Monday Night Raw, hopefully. So what are your guys' thoughts on this and everything moving forward? Right now, like I said, right now it's 1-on-1. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Universal title, SummerSlam, which probably will main event. Kyron Chase.
Oh God. Unless Braun Strowman comes out there and saves the day at the end, I'm not watching that match. Why would I want to? They have not had anything good. You gave us this match at WrestleMania in front of New Orleans, in front of 80,000 people, and the match bombed. The crowd didn't care. And you're gonna give us the same match in New York? The smartiest of smarts, the most hardcore wrestling fans? You know what? WWE, for this type of stupidity, they deserve whatever they're gonna get. And unless Braun Strowman saves the day, and it's gonna be a disaster. And at this point, just put the title on Reigns and put us out of our misery and get it over with. Just get it over with. I'm tired of it. I mean, the match between Reigns and Lashley was actually better than Extreme Rules match because it mattered. But it's like I wasn't mad because I really didn't care and I knew he was gonna win anyway. But how far is it gonna go with Roman Reigns? Are they gonna give him the title at SummerSlam? Are they gonna call an audible and have Braun Strowman win the title? Or are they gonna have Brock retain and drag this god awful reign on longer and longer? I'm tired of it. Just give it to Roman or give it to Braun and just end it. Put us out of our misery. I'm tired of it. And you can tell I'm not even angry. I'm not yelling anything.
All right, Mark.
I'm not. If I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I was expecting Roman to win. I would have loved to see Bobby win, but just from what we saw in the past, we kind of expected it. I kind of expected it. You know what I think is gonna happen? I think Brock is gonna win again. Honestly, I think Brock is gonna win again, and they're gonna have another match sooner than later. But yeah, I'm really not surprised at this point. You see it over and over and over again, and people tend to get used to it. That's how I am with this going on right now. It's nothing much I can really say because it's already happened. You already kind of expected it. It's not like it hit you out of nowhere.
Right.
It's just we're gonna have to just live with it. I mean, I would love to see something different, but we're not gonna see that. So you just gotta live with it. Unfortunately, we have to live with it.
And at least for me, unfortunately, not much else really to be brought up here about Monday Night Raw that I wanted to discuss. Kyron had some other thoughts and maybe some other things. So Kyron, I guess your overall rest of Raw, what's your good, bad, ugly look of
the only good was everything Finn, Seth, and Dolph and Drew did. That's the only good stuff that happened. I'm tired of Ember Moon versus Liv Morgan. Stop giving us that. You already took away Ember's undefeated streak by Sarah Logan of all people. Good job there. But I mean, like I said, hammering Evolution over our heads. I mean, oh yeah, the live stuff is pretty good as well. Hammering Evolution over our head to the point where every segment, oh good, oh yeah, it's great that the women have it on pay per view. Oh, it's great. They even had Braun Strowman do it. At least if Braun Strowman is funny when he brought up Alexa Bliss. At least that was pretty humorous. But like I said, they keep doing this, no one's gonna care anymore. Then you show the replay of the announcement 3 times. The B team versus the Hardy and Wyatt was not that good. I don't like the B team. What I really want to talk about though is AOP. Please put Paul Ellering back with them. Why would you put them on the mic? And stop doing this feud with Titus Catering. Okay, it's not fun. It's boring. And then the worst part, you had Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews look dominant against them on Monday night. Why? Why did you do that? And why are you giving them a lot of mic? That's what Paul Ellering was there for. It's like I don't have the emotion or the energy to rant because I just don't feel like it right now. I just thought Raw was a pretty bad show, honestly. But really, Raw has been pretty bad for a long time. You don't get good episodes of Raw.
All right, let's then move on to a show that I think, or would assume, or my opinion be that most people would say SmackDown Live this week is a pretty dang good show from start
Very
to
good
finish,
show.
especially the way and the hot start that it did have with Randy Orton cutting that fabulous, pretty well done heel promo. They're talking about and kind of taking digs at the Indie Stars, Bullet Club, and some other things as well. Brock Lesnar, high flying superstars, and otherwise. I want to get your guys' thoughts on that opening segment and of Randy Orton. Start out with you, Mark Rambo.
Amazing. Just amazing. I mean, they must have told him, hey, Randy, you got the mic, do what you got to do. Just make sure it's the Hill promo. It was just so good. I was like, man, why can't Raw just learn from these guys? I mean, and then this is what I really don't like. I'm going to go back to Raw. I think it's confirmed they had an official release for SummerSlam. Their poster, there not one SmackDown superstar was on it. I don't know if that's the confirmed official poster, but not one SmackDown superstar was on it. I was like, what? Well, SmackDown is like the best show out of the two right now. I mean, SmackDown has not disappointed once. But back to Randy, that was damn good, man. He got on John Cena. He got on I don't know the spring reference. I don't know if that was Brock Lesnar or Undertaker. He got on who else did he get on?
Indie wrestlers, divers.
Yeah, the Bingo Hall. Yeah, indie wrestlers. I was like, wow, that was good. This is definitely the A show. I don't care what anybody says.
How about the Vince?
He wouldn't listen to me. He'd be like, "Who's this guy? Get him out of my face."
Yeah, because you're too nice to him. So yeah, of course they're gonna say that.
I would just be straight up with him, like, "Hey, bro, I'm just gonna be honest with you. You're whatchamacallit. Your SmackDown is definitely the A show right now, unless Raw just randomly changes. SmackDown is frying Raw. That's exactly what I'd tell him." And he'd be like, okay, yeah. Wouldn't care anything about what I just said. I'll talk to somebody. like he definitely would not care at all. Yeah.
Okay, what would you think of SmackDown Live this past week? Think it was more good than bad and ugly?
Are you talking
great.
to me or Mark?
You, Kyron.
The whole show was good. You want me to come the whole show or just Orton?
Well, you can start with Orton, then you pretty much might as well go about the whole show.
Okay. Orton's promo, great stuff. This is the best Randy Orton promo I've heard in a long time. Heel Randy Orton is best Randy Orton. Heel Randy Orton is the wrestler we need, but we don't deserve. That is the Randy Orton that I consider one of the greatest of all time. Like I said last week, when I call Randy Orton boring or a human bottle of NyQuil, that's just a baby face. When he's a heel, yes, thank you. Other than that, Cynthia Nakamura's 30-second promo was hilarious and was very good. Rusev versus Andrade Cien Almas, good match. What else we got? Becky and Carmella, decent match. Glad Becky won. Now let's get the title on her. But my favorite thing of the night, other than Orton, the WWE contract signing segment. Everything about that segment I really liked. First, I shook my head when AJ started plugging Evolution, but when he tied around to his daughter, I thought, all right, that's all right. You had stuff with Ellsworth, which I thought was kind of funny, and Paige literally kicking him out of the door.
Can I just say one thing? Paige looked amazing.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
oh.
Oh, yes.
Paige looked very well.
She was fine. But back to what I was saying. Her kicking Ellsworth out of the door, good stuff. And like I said, let's see how WWE does this with Carmella not having Ellsworth around. Ellsworth can go back to GTS Wrestling to go against Grimm. What else we got? Oh yeah, then Joe choking AJ out, and thank you for giving us AJ versus Samoa Joe. And because I'm not gonna get my hopes up too high because you saw what they did with Styles and Nakamura at WrestleMania. But when you seen what AJ and Joe did in TNA, and this could definitely be match a contender if they give it the time it deserves. And then right after that, Paige telling Joe, I named you no one contender because the killer instinct and you're unpredictable. And Joe literally said exactly what I said. That was killer instinct and unpredictable. If I came out like you said, it'd been too predictable, too pedestrian. Mm-hmm. That was simply phenomenal. I said that's beautiful heel work. Like on one hand, I love AJ Styles, but I wouldn't mind Joe getting the WWE Championship. But I don't think he will because I think they're gonna keep the title on AJ to coincide with WWE 2K 19 release date. So, I want Joe to get the title, but I don't think he will. And the New Day Sanity stuff, I didn't think it was that good. Sanity is already starting to get ruined on the main roster. Then they can't even beat the New Day. Come on now. And finally, stuff with Miz and Daniel Bryan I thought was good. I laughed at the video package. Miz outsmarting Daniel Bryan with the baby, which I knew was a fake baby because no baby stays that still. And actually, I decided to sit and watch Miz and Mrs. right after it. And I'll be honest,
too. And it was hilarious.
It was better than anything Told Divas ever gave me.
Yep, it was hilarious.
It was hilarious. But SmackDown in general, other than having Sandy lose the New Day the way they did, and pretty much, like this team, look how they were in NXT, now come to the main roster and they can't beat the New Day. That was pretty stupid. But other than that, pretty good show. And before I wrap up, I just want to say this. Look at the match that SmackDown's giving us for SummerSlam. AJ and Joe. You got likely going to be the Bar versus the Bludgeon Brothers. Becky and Carmella. You're probably going to get a triple threat match between Orton, Nakamura, and Hardy. So, all good stuff. Raw is giving us Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. Kevin Owens and Strowman. And Rollins and Ziggler. And what do all three of those have in common?
Bliss and Rousey, don't forget.
Okay, yeah, but you're missing the point. All three matches we've seen before. Unless they give us Ziggler and Rollins in a ladder match or add McIntyre and Balor and make it a fatal four-way or fatal four-way ladder match, I don't care about Ziggler and Rollins either. Like, why is SmackDown giving us all original new stuff, but Raw is not?
At least for Raw, I think I know it's not good. With Kevin Owens and Braun Strowman, I think what got me more interested now is that the whole briefcase being on the line and Owens can actually take it. Though I do probably think that Braun's going to keep it and cash in later that night at SummerSlam. Though also what stopped him from cashing in before SummerSlam, right before they even have their match. But beyond that, I think at least for that match specifically, I'm at least a little bit more intrigued because they had that little stipulation, that little part of it with the briefcase being on the line. So at least for me, and that match specifically, I care a little bit more because of that than I would have if it just was them doing it again. Why are they doing it again? Sort of thinking. I've gone away from that because of that. But Mark Ramble, what are your thoughts on everything SmackDown Live?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. There isn't really much I could say that I had a problem with. Uh,
Sanity.
I mean, yeah, you know what? I take that back. Sanity is a new tag team in the main roster, and then if you want to, build up a tag team, you got to give them a quality win. And I thought New Day could have been a quality win, and then the Bar they could have lost to the Bar because let's be real. I mean, the New Day really doesn't deserve. They don't mean let's say. Let me take it back. They don't really need to win. Sanity, I feel like they've been losing a couple of times, and they don't really deserve. I mean, I'm sorry, and they really actually Sanity they've been losing. Let me take this back. I need to rephrase. Sanity has been losing so many times that they need a win. I've been looking at SmackDown a couple of times, Sanity matches. I've been seeing more losses than wins, and for them to be just coming from the tag from NXT to do this, it's much deserved of a win for them. They could lose to the Bar. They absolutely could lose to the Bar, and I'd be fine with it. At least they get a good win under their belt, which would be New Day. Then they could possibly start up a little feud, a little storyline with New Day. They could beat the New Day. Then they do something with who else is in SmackDown at the tag team? Whatever.
Usos.
Usos. They could possibly do something with Usos and build their way up there. They don't have to win every time.
No, they don't have to win every time, Mark. But when you come up from NXT, you got to give someone good performances and a string of good wins. And that's not what they give. They're giving Sanity. They made it look like jokes.
Because they had Sanity. Sanity was actually a really good tag team in NXT, but now it's
hold up, Mark. Repeat that again.
They were actually a really good tag team.
And where?
NXT.
Oh, okay. You just once again proved what I've been trying to explain to you for the last month and a half. I told you when you,
Jeopardy break.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I told you, Mark. Like you come from NXT, you gotta be humbled first. I mean, look at AOP for crying out loud. They made the jokes, from Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews, and then they put them on a mic, which was stupid. Like I said, NXT works because they know what your weaknesses, they know what your strengths are, and they put your strengths out and they hide your weaknesses. The main roster does not do that. And when and then you got people who aren't good on a mic or can't speak English well, like Asuka, and they make Asuka like a complete clown on SmackDown in a backstage interview. And it's like I always say, you're in NXT, you kill it down there. You come to the main roster, you're treated as second rate, you're not special. And it just goes with Sanity. And you keep telling me they're gonna get it right in the next one, and I don't believe you. And I won't until they show it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, especially with those, especially with most of those superstars that come from NXT that you think are going to have big, or make it big and have high hopes for them on the main roster. And unfortunately, for most of them, that's not the case. Though I don't think Asuka, and I know I don't mean to get back into this argument, but I still say that Asuka is going to be fine moving forward. But for other superstars, that probably isn't the case, and especially, though I think most already thought this with Noe Jose. I don't think he's going to be going anywhere. Though he really wasn't that big in NXT, but still just something to bring up in that vein. But anyways, yeah, that pretty much does it there. We already talking about Raw, SmackDown. NXT though did have their show, which does happen every single week, but this time something big happening on the show, changing the guard at least to the championship. New NXT champion, that's Ciampa. I guess get you guys started on the entire show because I unfortunately did not see the entire show. I just watched the main event when I went back on the network. But if you guys did see the whole show and then the main event itself, your thoughts on everything that went down in NXT this week?
Well, I for one did not watch the entire show because reasons. But I made sure to watch the main event because I knew what was going to happen. I just wanted to see how it was going to happen. And because they're two of my favorite workers, I was going to watch it. And grade A quality match. Very good match. Good storytelling. I even got Kyrie to watch, and he always trashed NXT for no good reason.
Oh, wow.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Kyrie just trashed NXT because I like it. But even he enjoyed that match. And even though he didn't know anything about either character, he knew who the clear-cut babyface was, who the clear-cut heel was. And the way the match ended was perfect. Alistair hits Tommaso with a black mask, but there's no referee. Then Tommaso tries to hit Alistair with the title, but Johnny comes out. But Johnny accidentally hits Alistair with the title instead. Great storytelling. This sets up, Alistair gets a legitimate reason why he wants a rematch because he had Ciampa beat, and you add Johnny to the mix and give us a triple threat match in Brooklyn. I'm just saying, can we just get a crown to take over the SummerSlam crown to take over Brooklyn for already because we know they're gonna get it. I mean, just look at this. On one hand, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. On the other hand, Johnny Gargano, Aleister Black, and Tommaso Ciampa. Which one sounds more appealing to you, Mark?
Oh, let me guess. Tommaso Ciampa, Aleister Black, and Johnny Gargano.
So I'm pretty sure we're both in agreement that Takeover's gonna win. Come SummerSlam weekend. I mean, they were gonna win anyway, but main event alone, come on now. Then you got Adam Cole versus Ricochet, Velveteen Dream, and EC3. That giving the brother too much, but I'll take it because he actually gave me something I want to see. Good wrestling, simple storytelling. Vince, main roster, Raw especially. Why don't you try taking a page from NXT?
It's on the CEO, and I'm sure you did see this, Karen, and I maybe you even did reply. Just didn't maybe see it in our communication there on Twitter thread. But he was talking about with the difference of with NXT and the booking of the main roster, and on his end of the thing is like NXT being catered to the hardcore fans, and now that it being a 1 hour show on SmackDown, being 2 hours and stuff like that. What are your thoughts on that of his thinking of, well, NXT's catered to this kind of fan base, the main roster is just different in its own right. That's why people like yourself and others, rightfully so, your opinions, trash the main roster compared to NXT and how much better NXT is to the main roster. But I've been saying that the main roster is its own different beast. And I mean, in the company, its own beast. Like from the fans' perspective, it is what it is. We're going to judge both accordingly to how we feel of each show, whether we think NXT is superior and will always be superior, or otherwise, with main roster people. Because I'm sure there are fans that are specific main roster and think NXT is crap. Though I don't go that way. I just, don't overhype NXT as much as others do. But specifically, Kyle, what are your response to Micah and his thoughts on NXT's catered to this fan base, main roster, catered to something different? That's why the shows are different, and that's why it seems like with those hardcore fans like yourself and others, and also with us in the Smarks world, that NXT is looked at better than the main roster. In the end, WWE's main roster is actually just fine and doing good itself.
Well, I agree that yes, they are catered to two different crowds. NXT more hardcore, main roster more casual. But here's where I gotta say, I don't just say NXT is better because I don't like the main roster or I'm overhyping it. I look at NXT and I'm getting consistently good writing and good wrestling. That's all I want from the main roster. I'm not asking them to beat NXT. I'm asking them to look at how your developmental brand is doing simple writing and simple wrestling and simple storylines. And people say, "Oh, that stuff won't get on the main roster." So you're telling me if you book Gargano and Ciampa feud the same way on the main roster, it wouldn't get over? It'd get over for me. And so I don't get that. And yes, NXT is catered to a different crowd, but like I said before, we've had 3 NXT takeover shows this year. And on the main roster, we've had several pay-per-views. On the main roster, we've only had, for me, 2 good pay-per-views. We have not gotten one bad to mediocre takeover. I would argue Takeover Chicago and New Orleans is my favorite takeover to date. I think it's one of the greatest WWE shows they've ever done. And Takeover Chicago is pretty good as well. So why is it that I've had 3 developmental pay-per-views and all 3 were top-notch? Meanwhile, the main roster has had so many pay-per-views, but the only good ones were Royal Rumble and Money in the Bank. No, it's not just because of who you're catering to. It's also how you book the show. And that's all I'm asking for out of the main roster. You can't give me good booking and good wrestling. Why should I be watching you? And for everyone who wants to say, well, if you don't like the product, stop watching it. I'm not going to stop watching it. I'm not going to stop complaining about it either. Because if I stop complaining, this is one thing I try to tell you too. If I stop criticizing, I stop complaining, it's not going to get better. I mean, if I sit down here and try to praise everything and give them all the credit when they don't deserve it, then that's never going to get better. So, and if anything, and if I stop watching and something good does happen, I'm not going to want to miss it. So, no, I mean, I see where the argument comes from, but there's also a second part to that. One gives you good wrestling and storytelling, while the other one doesn't. That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah, and I understand that completely. I hear that all the time with other YouTubers, or maybe even yourself. Maybe you get that from people of you're complaining so much, you're so hot and heavy about it. Stop watching, and you won't have to care about it, or that you're caring too much, or this and that. But in the end, you're just showing your passion. You care because you do care. You want it to be better. You don't want to trash the main roster as much as you do, but you do because you feel that there is holes there that need to be addressed, and you have the platform here on YouTube or on Twitter, otherwise that you want to show it and share it, and you have every right to do so. So I understand that, and I definitely respect it, of course. So to that, I agree 100%. People should just, to steal the catchphrase from The Rock, know your role and shut your mouth. And those that are saying that, oh, you're complaining, stop watching it. Well, no, he's not going to stop watching it. JD from New York's not going to stop watching it. DC Amplify is not going to stop watching WWE because they want their voices to be. Raunchy Mikey's not going to stop, or at least totally watching it and complaining about it and giving their strong opinions on the product that we love, because we do love it, because they want it to improve. Kyron wants it to improve. Raunchy, others that I just brought up. They want the product to improve. They want the main roster to be better. They don't want to forever be tearing down and destroying the main roster all the time. They want it to be good, and they've given their legitimate arguments for that. On my end, and the way I do things, though, myself and I, of continuing to praise and thinking that things will get better and that it will improve and that the main roster's all right, Oscar's going to be fine, this and that, and everything that I've been saying and rambling about, is because that A, I do believe that, and B, I also have this feeling that maybe in our own minds that we over criticize because we, in our minds, not only do we think that we could book it better or do it better ourselves, but we overthink things where we don't need to. Again, everybody's right to their opinion, so they're not right or wrong. I'm just saying this is what I'm thinking from an outside perspective to some others that I've listened to on YouTube and their strong opinions, giving in the yelling way that Stephen A. kind of was complaining about in our Twitter conversation. And I even retorted there saying, hey, people, they scream and yell or raise their voice like OTR Central because I shared that video, and then Stephen A. replied from there. But everybody like that and like him and like Kyron, they yell because they care, or maybe even as you said, comedic factor as well. But just it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just already talking in circles. I'll let Kyron talk about it more of why that's the case, of why himself or JD or others share their passions, show their opinions as strongly as they do for the reasons that they do. So for yourself specifically, otherwise not obviously not talking for them, but for yourself, why you do your opinions, I guess, in that way.
Well, why do people like myself, JD especially, OTR Central, why do we yell? It's for two reasons. One, some people yell for comedic effect and just try to be funny. OTR Central, for example, you see his Q&A, he yells about some question I asked him just to be funny. Why do you, but I mean, I think I have to look at JD's perspective more, because when he yells, usually he's legitimately angry. Why is that? Because they give you a reason to be angry. They give you, something that can be simple to do, and then you turn out and they give you a piece of crap show. Speaking of JD, one of my favorite videos he's ever done was his Battleground 2017 review. Now, we all know that was the word pay-per-view last year. And he tore into that show, and it's still one of his greatest rants. Why is that? Because the show was so bad, deserves it. You think, like I said earlier, you think people like us, you think we want to get angry with the show? Mark, like I said, do you think I want to get angry with WWE?
You said what?
Do you think I want to get angry with WWE?
No, I don't think anybody does.
Do you think I want to come over here and yell every week?
No, I don't think anybody does. They'd be insane.
See, but it's when you insult my intelligence, get something I don't like, or both, then yeah, I'm gonna yell. I mean, if you like I said before, if you don't want to watch my channel because I yell, then don't watch me because I'm not gonna stop change my perspective. Like I said before, I started my channel. I was trying to be too positive. Now you can say, "Oh, you're being too negative." No, I'm being a critic. If WWE gives me something I don't like, I'm gonna say I don't like it. If they give me something I do like, I'm gonna say I like it. It's that simple. But when WWE goes above and beyond, and here's the thing, I just want to make this clear. I don't yell at everything I don't like. The only time I yell is when you really do something that really, angers me. For example, my No Mercy review. I yelled at I didn't like seeing it in Reigns. I didn't yell at that. I didn't really yell at Enzo and Neville, but I yelled at Lesnar and Strowman because of how the match was booked. Money in the Bank. I didn't like Roman and Gender. I didn't yell at that. I didn't like. I didn't. The only stuff I yelled at was stuff to women because it legitimately angered me on a different level. Me yelling, it takes more than just to anger me. For me to yell, you have to anger me to another level or insult me in some way. That's when I end up yelling. That's when I really rant. It's when WWE really does something that really insults my intelligence or just like angers me to no end for one reason or another. Where it could have been booked better or it just shouldn't have been booked at all. That's when I yell. I don't yell at everything. I just yell when I'm most passionate, and I feel like WWE's really, really gotten to me.
Yeah, understood. And I guess Mark Rambo, I guess your thoughts on that. I mean, I know you yourself, at least from what I see on your channel, not yelling, but just your thoughts on the topic itself, I guess.
Well, 50% agree, 50% of me agrees, and 50% of me sort of just like, whatever. Um, I would say I agree because people, especially fans, they have a platform now where they could express their opinion and you know express how they feel about the company at its current product. But at the same time, you could yell only so much, and it's only going to get you so far at times.
Okay, yeah, keep thinking that.
I will.
Look at like I said, look at someone like JD has 95,000 subscribers for a reason.
Yeah, that's why I said at times. I'm not gonna say all the time it's only gonna get you so far. I'm saying at times it can only get you so far. Like certain, you know, how can I say this? Like I don't really watch JD, but the videos that you told me to watch, I've watched, and they were. I guess they could see they were cool. They had some truth to it, but maybe it's just me. That's just not my type of expression. Like you yell, you yell, you yell. I just can't watch it like that. I could definitely see where you're coming from. My way of expressing is a little different from JD, but me and him both kind of have a similar, I guess, say way of thinking. But I'm not going to be like, yeah, everything he's saying is right and right and right. There's times where I'm kind of like,
See,
like,
yeah, I mean,
uh,
if as someone who is subscribed to JD, there are times I am like, I don't really agree. But there's a lot of times where I do agree with him because he and I have the same thought process. And I know we probably won't be able to, but I would love to have JD on the show one day. I think having JD on the show would be great for the show, especially because I want to hear what he would say about some of the stuff we've always talked about. I mean, I know he'd probably be on my side more because, like I said, I watch him, so I
Right,
know
right.
how he's going to think. But I would love to have JD on the show one day.
And it seems like from the videos that I watched that you shared, and I actually am subscribed to him. As I say, ring his bell. Part of his notification squad. I do pretty much check out every single video he does, at least for the um, rant or opening monologue, to hear what he said. And there are some times where I actually do agree. I'm shaking my head as I'm watching, and I'm going, hey, he's making a point today, or this and that. And then there's times where I'm like, shut up, sort of thing. I have a difference. Not just because of how he's saying it, it's what he's saying. Like most of the time, I'm going beyond of how he's expressing it with his anger and his tone to what he's actually saying. Because sometimes, and I don't think it's in his case actually, and I'm actually going to defend him here, because sometimes the people that scream and yell, whether they're talking pro wrestling or whatever they're talking about, whatever topic on YouTube, Sometimes they try to do that to mask whatever they're saying, because they don't have enough of an argument on whatever the topic is. So they're using that to try to distract, um, and to actually show the passion that JD and Kyron do about pro wrestling. But I just wanted to bring that up because, at least with JD, when he does that, it makes sense, and he really is passionate about whatever he's talking about, whatever he's pissed off about that day, having to do in WWE. But like I said, I'm usually a mixed bag on his videos. Some days I'm nodding my head and green, other days I'm shaking my head and moving on with my days and not continuing to watch that video specifically. But I am subscribed to his channel because overall I respect him. I respect the way that he does share his opinions, and in the way he does. So, in that way, I understand that. It's just for me, myself, and I like to do it more relaxed way. And maybe in the end, I won't get the channel over and I won't get the podcast over, but I am going to stay me, just like Kyron's going to stay him. I'm going to be relaxed, monotone voice, and all the other stuff that I've been already hearing, because that's just how I am. And if I try to be anything like that, if I try to be the other way, people would see right through that crap quickly, quick, fast, in a hurry because they know it's fake. It's not real. And they show the real Steve is to show that side of me being that positive place. So that's just how I'm going to be here on this channel. I'm going to be when I'm on other people's channels like Mark Rambo and others. So that's, I guess we'll close it there before I talk in a circle. But if there's anything else wrestling wise or otherwise that you guys wanted to bring up, I assume not, but I at least wanted to ask. If there's anything else, so we'll start with Mark. Is there anything else you want to bring up here before we say goodbye?
Well, I know you guys do not watch New Japan, but I thought this was very funny. Roman Reigns and Tomatonga of the Bullet Club or Firing Squad got at it on Twitter. I thought it was hilarious. I don't know if you guys went on it. But go check that out, first of all. They were being sarcastic, but more like a fuck you sarcastic type of way. Go check it out. I thought it was hilarious. It's on. I think it's Roman and Tonga's Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, you're gonna have to share that with their group on Twitter because otherwise I'm gonna have to look up who exactly that guy is. To be quite honest. But anyways, Kyron, anything else you want to bring to the table before we go?
All I'm gonna say is this, WWE, please don't bang us over here with Evolution for the next 2.5 months because when you get to the show, no one's gonna care. And thank you for not giving us women's tag team championships.
I still think that's coming. I just want to share. I think with this long or 2.5 months, whatever, we have time before we get to Evolution event itself. I think we might actually get that announcement of the tag team titles that will start tournaments for a month and then ending at Evolution. Not only will we be crowning and ending a tournament being the second annual Mae Young Classic, but ending a tournament that is of the tag team division, which will hopefully involve NXT, SmackDown Live, and Raw. Of course, all of them involve NXT as well. I'm sure NXT fans would be happy to hear that. Just as much as their NXT title, women's title, is going to be dependent at the show. So I do still think that's going to be happening, only a possibility for reality. But obviously, it won't be one of those things I'll be upset if it's not part of that show. Maybe we can hold that off to the second annual or later on when they get another actual planning and their ducks in a row before they rush anything. You don't want anything rushed, right? So don't want to rush this concept or rush this idea out to the public. So, but I do still think it'll happen, but we'll have to see. Also, though, you want to talk about ranting, you want to talk about getting upset. I might actually myself get upset, and I've said this before. The Brock actually does retain at SummerSlam, and he continues to be the champion. I might have some words in that review that Sunday night, but beyond that, I think anything else that happens is going to be fun. I'll be fine. Braun winning it or Roman winning it. More so, probably Roman. But either way, I'll be certainly happy that way. But anyways, I'll let everybody promote themselves, and then we'll say goodbye from there. Karen Chase, let people know where they can find you.
Follow me on Twitter, /RoCarvin, Instagram, /Ro_Carvin, Tumblr, and DeviantArt of Carvin Chase. My Twitch account is Carvin Chase. I do videos on wrestling, Sonic the Hedgehog, and My Little Pony Friendship with Magic, and I do reaction videos from time to time.
All right, Mark Rambo.
All right, y'all know where to follow me, man. I got two. Actually, I just finished today. I got two normal reactions because I'm in the comments like, oh, you haven't done a reaction in like years, pretty much. I just done 2 of them today. Should have them up tomorrow. I'm definitely not having them up tonight. I'm drained. I've been out all day. But yes, be on the lookout for those 2. If you guys are interested in pretty much like superhero kind of Comic Con trailers, it's pretty much the basis of it. Came out a couple weeks ago, but you know what the deal is. My Twitter, sorry, shit. Let's rewind. My Twitter, Marcus Rambo. My Instagram, Live Like Ram. My Snapchat is unexplanatory, but you guys can follow it or add me on Snap. On my links in my videos, they are always on there. Before the shout out now. And yeah, make sure you guys go subscribe to the guys who are always on my links too. Karen, Steve, Mountie, Narcolepsy, or Trivia, Narcolepsy Boy, Broken, and Marquise. Those are good friends of mine. And show them some love same way. Hopefully you guys show me some love. And without further ado, you guys take care.
All right, and everybody, welcome to follow me on Twitter at WWE_podcast, at my personal Twitter handle at Army_strong_06. And welcome to find me on Instagram at TBK_06 as well, which is also on my Snapchat, which I'm trying to be more there as well. Next video will be next week, of course, Raw review. I'm done for the week. I have family things going on tomorrow, so I'll be away. It's gonna be a long day tomorrow, but it'll be what it be. But anyways, hope you all have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe, have fun, and above all else, as always, take care.
Peace out.